no matter how many times I got knocked down, no matter how many times I got taken down, held down, and bashed, it was just like I knew that I would keep going. I had that grunt in me. I think that grunt kind of pushed me through a lot of my fights and a lot of my experiences. You don't have to be the most technical person, you don't have to be a perfect kind of sculpture of a human being to be a fighter. You kind of just have to, really have to have a fight in you. And I think once I discovered that I had that fight in me, I was like, why am I going to ignore this? This is clearly what I'm good at, and I'm going to be able to be successful in this if I keep up with that, because you can't teach heart. I'm JANAY Harding. I'm a professional mixed martial artist, and I fight for the Bellator promotion.
Stop taking away the limelight.
Fighting, you need to perform perfectly for 15 minutes or 25 minutes. And no matter what's happening in your world, like that 15 minutes isn't going to change. You need to be able to be your best on your worst day and be able to handle those kind of adversities as you're coming into this fight, because ultimately you've got 15 minutes to shine and you have to switch on no matter what. As a kid, my mum's a single parent and I'm an only child, so I've literally tried every single sport under the sun. I did karate before I started MMA, so we kind of found that individual aspect and martial arts itself was something that I gravitated towards and I really thrived in. I decided to move on to something else a little bit more mature, and MMA was that thing. And it's kind of funny, like I didn't necessarily know what mixed martial arts was when I first started. I kind of walked into a MMA gym at the time and then eventually fell in love with the sport as I continued training. I was training just as a hobby, of course, while I was doing school, and I hadn't found something that I was going to go study at uni. I hadn't decided what I was kind of going to do potentially for the rest of my life. So once I started fighting, I had my first fight and I was like, oh no, yep, this is what I want to do. I want to go full speed ahead with it, and I just continued doing it ever since. I have only just recently started Ethos. I've only relocated to Sydney recently in the last 6 months, so it'll be my 11th mixed martial arts fight. And I have only just now started incorporating a proper strength and conditioning program. And I think that's insane, kind of, because obviously everyone raves about how beneficial it is, and I've never really had the opportunity, first because of moving around or whatever, and then second of all noticed the benefits of having a strength and conditioning coach and a proper program and stuff until now, and it has made a ton of difference, and I'm so excited to see how it affects my next performance.
We looked at her routine, and while she was establishing her own routine with technical coaches, we looked and said, well, we can definitely help you in these areas. And what we've been trying to do is establish a solid base of what we're aiming to achieve with her and ultimately win her next fight. But I'm looking way beyond this next fight. We're looking towards how we're going to improve her in the next year, in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years. Long term with JANAY, I'd like to have a more structured strength and conditioning intertwined with her technical program. That's what we like to do with our fighters. Her training, it doesn't change too much from our males. I mean, if anything, females can actually tolerate more workload than men in certain regards. So that's something that you kind of need to remember when you're working with a female.
It's not just strength, it's not just being strong. Obviously, you can lift weights all day. It's not necessarily going to translate into mixed martial arts and the movements that we do. I'll be able to notice my endurance, my strength, my body type in a general sense, which will change my weight cuts and how I'm sitting at a featherweight kind of weight, if it makes it like a healthier weight for me, or it makes me look a little bit more kind of defined in the division. And then as well as that, I've just enjoyed having this community and learning a lot more about strength and conditioning in a general sense. It's been really, really good. My personality now is completely molded off my upbringing, of course. Being an only child and my mum being a single parent, it created a lot of independence in my life, and it created my mindset to be a tiny bit different. I think that's possibly even why I gravitated towards an individual sport, because I can solely rely on myself. I mean, you can get coached and train as much as you want, but ultimately when that cage door closes, it's you against you, and you are the only person that can let you down. It's been a long, long road to be able to get to this point, and there's been a lot of hiccups and a lot of downs, a lot of mistakes made, and a lot of kind of bumps that I've faced that have created this kind of person that I am today. I wouldn't change any of it because ultimately it is what I am, and I am the best version of myself now, today, and coming into these international fights and getting these amazing experiences that I get to do, I wouldn't be this capable of dealing with all these things.